We are seeing more and more people in the SEO space talk about content promotion's influence over SEO. And the two thought leaders who I like to follow and who are leading this conversation are Moz's Rand Fishkin and HubSpot's newly appointed Matthew Barbie. The content promotion of SEO content is very tactical. As you know, the research, planning, and architecture of content is very important for the success of SEO. Without content promotion, though, it's really money wasted and vice versa. So don't be spending money on content promotion if you haven't invested in these content assets and are doing thorough research and getting good structure and content architecture on your website. So the way web growth executes on content promotion is the following. So we've already covered in previous modules research, planning, content architecture, and content optimization. And at this stage, you have created, hopefully, a few content assets for yourself, which can be pushed to your audience, which can either now be done via email, AdWords, or social media. But the biggest influencing factor for SEO from a content promotion perspective is social media, in our opinion, as web growth. We found most of our success on Facebook and LinkedIn. Twitter, not so much. We exist on Twitter, but in my opinion, and the feedback that we get from the digital marketing teams we work with, is that Twitter engagement is getting lower and lower. And we unfortunately see it as a distraction and not worth the investment of time. I jokingly say that Twitter is where marketers market to other marketers. So yes, we do exist in the space, but our posts are very minimal. Instagram is one to watch out for. If you have a decent budget, then I'll definitely consider it. But if not, then rather put your efforts and focus onto Facebook for business, and then build your thought leadership profile in LinkedIn. But again, only use LinkedIn if your clients or customers are already using the platform. So Facebook remains the platform to find an engaged audience. How does pushing content to Facebook help your SEO though? So we see it like this. Social engagement is a signal to Google to improve page authority, in our opinion, as web growth. Page authority, we know, enables us to rank in Google, with the disclaimer, though, that your on-site optimization still needs to be good. You can't just rank just because you've got a good domain authority. Then the next one, the Facebook metric we measure is the like and the share, and this is your shareability KPI. And Facebook posts need to pull what we call the open graph data. So open graph data is not something that we've mentioned before. This might be new to you. So basically, Facebook has a set of schema rules that, when adhered to, pulls a certain elements into a Facebook post. It's the image, the heading text, and the description text. All of this can be controlled if you're using WordPress in the Yoast SEO plugin. And this is both on pages and on posts. This also influences clickability and shareability performance, so we ensure all our posts and pages are correctly optimized for social. And we dive deeper into social optimization and packaging a little later. So promoting to Facebook can help tick two boxes. Obviously, your Facebook campaign, which could either be to broaden your audience, keep your current audience engaged, or to drive those leads. But the second box, SEO, is hardly ever thought about in social media context. So if you remember back to one of our penny drop moments, the Online Marketing in South Africa article, this was key for us as web growth to be able to see how, when we pushed that article to Facebook, how that engagement improved the page authority of that article and then generated more traffic and ultimately helped it to rank going forward. So I definitely, when having a conversation around SEO, social media, or more specifically Facebook, has to be part of that conversation. And that's when you start seeing the two teams working together and not separately in two silos. SEO and social media now need to be overlapped, so that search intent and social interest need to be coming together, and it exists within SEO and it exists within social media. I hope that makes sense. Give us a shout if you have any questions.